All right, huge shout out to my good friend Eddie, who plays guitar like you, like me. And I was like, Eddie, what are you having a hard time with learning? Well, I'm stuck on this plateau where I keep playing the same chord. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing a G, a C, and a D open chord. So drop in the comments if you know those. G, C, D. Now, here's the best way to bust out of that. And it all starts with little tiny moves. We're gonna talk about triads. Now, I've had a lot of people on this channel because I do a ton of videos on these. This is like the glue or the bones of music. It's just a stripped down 3-note chord. So if you look at this G open chord, you strum all 6 strings, but there's only 3 notes that make up that G major chord, and that's the triad, G, B, and D. Now, obviously, because I'm playing 6 strings, some of the notes are repeating more than once, but there's no other notes besides G, B's, and D. So there's kind of the language. And then when you have C, we're playing these 5 strings, I'm muting out the slow E, there's 3 notes that make up a C triad, C, E, and G, okay? Follow me? And then this D, right, open chord, we're playing from the open D, playing 4 strings, there's 3 notes that make up a D major triad, it's D, F sharp, A. Okay, so that's what a triad is. So think of it as just an alternate way to play that chord, a more stripped down version. It's just another choice, another sound, another flavor. So here's what we're gonna do to keep it really simple. So watch real close. Again, drop any comments, any questions, I got you, okay? Now we're gonna do a triad, and we're gonna do the same shape. So essentially, let me show you, this is the end goal, okay? Let me explain. So we're gonna play a G triad here, okay? So look at that diagonal shape. You need to burn these kind of things in your brain, okay? Then here's the C up here. It's the same shape, and then the D here. Okay, so the 3 notes, again, G, B, D, C, E, G, and D, F sharp, A. So there's like the language of music. There's a little theory. Now, let me tell you this. A lot of times you're gonna hear people, and me especially, you're gonna refer to the triads on certain string sets. We're always using our open strings as like a reference point. So in this case, we're using the D, G, B open strings. So what I mean is this, I'm playing this first note here on the D string on the 5th fret, there's a G, okay? So put your finger there. And then on the 4th fret with my 2nd finger, I'm playing a B, and that is on the G string. And then here we have the 1st finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. So that's G, B, D, okay? So strum that, there's your first triad. Now, if I go back and I play the full G chord, open chord, and then I go to the triad, it's just a leaner, prettier version, or not necessarily prettier, just a different flavor, okay? So maybe you're writing a little song, and instead of going straight into the open chord, here's kind of why you're gonna wanna use this. Maybe you do like a little intro, you're picking it right to the G. Okay, now here's the beautiful part about this shape, and this is what you gotta connect on guitar too, because it's a lot of shapes. I can slide this all the way up, and there I am on the C major triad, C, E, G. Now this time I'm on the 10th fret, I'm on the same strings, I'm on the D, G, B string set, okay? You follow me? Remember, when I say D, G, B string set, that's not the notes I'm playing, that's the string set. I'm just on those strings, so D, G, B strings, but I'm playing the notes C, E, G, okay? So here's the beautiful part. Look, I'm just moving G to C, and then all I gotta do is slide it up 2 frets, and I'm playing D, F sharp, A. Now, I will make you aware, there's 12 different major and minor triads on 4 different string sets. In this case, though, we gotta keep it simple, because you gotta start somewhere. Now, this is one of the most usable triads, in my opinion. So let's just kind of go over it again. So let's go back here, get the shape, play along with me, let's just strum it and let it ring out. Now, if you are strumming it, be aware, you don't want the E and A string in there, so it's gonna take you a little bit of practice to tighten up your strumming hand, the motor, right? So rhythm is king always, so be very aware. So if you want, just strum it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it nice and controlled. And then move up to the C triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then D. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back to the G triad. Now, this is another great way to learn your fretboard, learn the notes. So if you want, you could go like this. G, B, D, G, B, D, C, E, G, C, E, G, D, F sharp, Okay, so you follow so far? So a triad, it's just 3 notes. It's a stripped down version of like this full chord. So instead of playing multiple G's and whatever's in this, so let's just look at it. Okay, G, there's a B, then you got an open D, and then you've got another G and another B and another G. See some of the notes repeat, but here you just have G, B, D, a nice clean version, okay? G, B, D, C, E, G, D, F sharp, A, and then back to G. Now, what can we do to kind of up to the next level? Let's say we do that, we get that pretty clean. Now you could try something like this. Go from the open chord to the triad and try and keep your rhythm going. So something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, triad, 2, 3, 4, open chord, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will tell you, one thing you're gonna get good at, and this is where your guitar playing busts out of plateaus even further, is my thumb is wrapping over and I'm muting these strings. So sometimes if I actually strum those strings by accident, they're not sounding out, okay? Now that's a little more advanced, but that's okay. I just wanted to point that out, okay? So C and then D, but let's go to the C open chord. Now, this one's a little trickier because look how far you have to move to get to the triad. Now, why might this be a great exercise? Because you're gonna really know, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb when your rhythm is starting to like almost like your train's gonna derail, right? So C, 2, 3, 4, C, triad, 2, 3, 4, open C, triad C. So just go like this too. You can actually take your strumming hand out of it, and if you wanna just practice going from open chord to triad, get a nice feel for that. Just get a nice flow, okay? C open, C triad, C open, C triad. Really, this is the only way to get better in guitar. You just have to put in the work. But trust me, it becomes so much more fun to play the instrument. Look, you have more tools, like more things in your catalog to draw from. You're playing, you're gonna have more fun. D to the D triad. See, that one's a long move too. Now, the reason these triads are kind of far away, there are other like C and D triads that could play closer. I want to keep you on the same string set. So I want you to burn this shape, these major triads on this string set in your brain, okay? And just more technical stuff, but this is a 1-3-5 triad because it's the first note, third note, and fifth note. You build it out of the scale. We'll do more on that later though. So G, C, D, and then back to the G triad. Now you could do something like this too. Think of it like a songwriter, okay? And we'll wrap this up. Finger pick it or pick it with your pick. That's another thing. You could drop the pick and do like your fingers, like arpeggiate it. Just move it right up the neck, back to down. See? Open chord to triad. This is kind of the end goal. Okay, so you see there, we just gotta connect things slow. So I have a ton of videos on here, and I apologize if you've watched any of those and they're like crazy too deep for you, but I'm always gonna point out, even when I make a longer video and I put up the charts with a lot of the dots on the fretboard, I'm always gonna point out to you, like just take one piece of it. But I thought this was a great way to give you beginners or intermediates, we're all on different journeys of our guitar. So start working in triads. They sound amazing, so pick them. You could even go backwards, go from the triad to the open chord. Maybe you just try to get this G one really tight because it's the closest on the neck, so it's a little easier. Let's to move it up. C's, right? D. Okay, so hopefully you get that. And I did do this a lot as a beginner. One great thing my teacher pointed out before we close this is I would take the strumming hand out and I would just go like this to the triad. Open to triad, open to triad, open to triad. So get this feeling like consistent, okay? Then you can add in the strumming, okay? But if you want to go right to the strumming, it's okay. That's just part of what learning is, right? We fall down, dust ourselves off, get back up, and keep going. Okay, hopefully you dug this. So remember, triad is just a 3-note chord. It's the first, third, and fifth note from the scale. I'm gonna keep making videos. I will teach triads forever. I'm gonna hit it from multiple angles for you, and you got this, all right? So don't give up, don't stay stuck. Like, Eddie's gonna see this video because I'm gonna send it to him. I told him I was gonna make it. Bust out, go into the triads. G, G Triad, C, C Triad, D, D Triad, and then back to G. Now you've learned more than you knew before, hopefully. All right, you guys know what to do. Hit those buttons. You guys are amazing. I know you guys got this. Drop Jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Go out, do something fun, whatever day it is, wherever you are in the world. I will see you in the next video. Only you can stop you. Don't stop. Peace.